Let's face it, the regular media is a joke. It didn't used to be that way. It used to be contained by people that got the facts before they reported it. Well, we are bringing that back. This is the Brooks Report Live. We are the true voice of Southeast Texas. Breaking news, weather, traffic alerts, events, Q&As. If it's happening in Southeast Texas, we are there. This is the Brooks Report Live. And now your host, Adam C. Brooks.
Hey guys, thank you for joining us here on the Brooks Report Live. I am your host, Adam Brooks. If you would, put a 1 in the comments if you're watching us live, put a 2 if you're watching the recorded version, and like always, let us know what city you're watching us from. Please be sure and share this broadcast. Invite your friends, tag a few friends in the comment section if you will. Help us grow here on the Brooks Report Live, and stay tuned for the show. Thank you guys for joining us. All right, thank you guys for joining me here. This is Adam Brooks with the Brooks Report Live, joined with Dr. Tony Tipton, Lumberton ISD Superintendent. Dr. Tipton, it's been a crazy couple of days here last week, this week. Everybody's trying to get to school, get their kids off to school, and everything's new. You know, we know how this goes. But listen, I just wanted to sit down and chat with you for a little bit. And, you know, there are very simple explanations for a lot of things. And then some other things are a little bit more complicated.
Yep.
Why don't you talk to us about that?
Yeah, sure. So, you know, we can go in lots of directions. And thanks, Adam, for having me on. I think it's always good to go directly to the source. And I definitely appreciate you. You always do a great job of that. So thanks for being a friend to the district and to Southeast Texas. So listen, you know, I'm just going to tell you that the bus situation, you know, buses are always tough, Adam. It's always difficult to get bus routes going. It's always difficult to get all of the new kids in the system, to get them transferred up from one campus to the next, to get all the siblings lined out and all those things. It does usually take, you know, a couple of weeks to get things lined out. I will say this: we made a decision on Thursday afternoon, or maybe it was Friday noon, really right around the beginning of school. Adam, we've tried for 2 years to run bus stops here in Lumberton, and we discovered, and it's taken us a little while, trial and error, but we have so many dangerous roads. Our schools are located right along 69 and 96. And so, you know, we gave the bus stops a good old try. We were trying to save some time to keep parents from, you know, having to get their kids at, you know, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, sometimes even 7 o'clock at night. Sure. But the safety issue really outweighed the time. And with our buses, I've tried to explain this in lots of different ways. And I don't know that I've ever done it here, but now people can hear me say it directly. We have the worst traffic situation in Southeast Texas. All of our schools are located right on this north-south corridor of 69 and 96. And Adam, you can't get anywhere in Southeast Texas without coming through Lumberton. And our schools just happen to start and end at the same time that, you know, tens of thousands of people are trying to come north and south through Lumberton. And then we add, you know, 2,000 to 3,000 car riders a day to that traffic, all trying to turn out of lights and onto short streets at the same time. It's really, really a difficult situation. So the news is that our buses have to fight the same traffic that you and I have to fight trying to come to school or go home or drop our kids off at school. And that makes things even doubly difficult. I will tell you what we decided that we were going to go back to door-to-door stops for our PM routes. And that was a huge decision. We spent all weekend working on getting the routes updated and trying to get the time straight. But then, of course, as things would have it, you know, everything changes. We had 3 bus drivers that called in sick today And so we put our mechanic, our lead mechanic driving a route, and our coordinator driving a route, and then that still left us down. So
Well,
when you're down those routes, Adam, things are going to get long. And man, I'll tell you, another perfect storm. I think if you've checked Facebook lately or School Messenger, I found out about an hour and a half ago that our technology department purged all of our bus rider phone numbers out of our Remind account this summer. And I'll just take it on the chin. We failed to communicate that. I wasn't aware of it till about an hour and a half ago. So
I'm glad you brought that up, Dr.
yeah.
Tipton, because I mean, I saw the email come across. I didn't read it thoroughly. I kind of saw the headline there, and we all know it was well reported about the cyber attack. I guess you call it a cyber attack on the district there. But you're saying that it's wiped out all those phone numbers, so people just have to rejoin or resubmit their information, so that way they get these notifications. And you talk about the perfect storm. I understand that with these buses and things happen. Is there, I'm just going to kind of cut to the chase here.
Sure.
Is there any plan in motion to try to help eliminate some of these things as much as we can, or are we still in the planning stages?
First of all, I would tell you that that bus service and the bus thing always smooths out. Once our bus drivers get used to the routes, once all the kids are registered, and once we can make the routes as efficient as possible, it's gonna get better. I will tell you that since the first day of school, we've been in very close consultation with Lumberton Police Department and TxDOT. We've met multiple times, talking about lights and talking about the number of cars that we have, and the honestly, it's just a fact in Lumberton. We have a lot of car riders. It's just the way it is here. Folks they're able to drop their kids off at school. They're able to pick their kids up from school. And so we've actually made a major decision as of about 2 hours ago. It is going to affect some people, but we think it's going to make a huge difference in the long run. And we're playing the long game, trying to make things better for everybody for the rest of the school year. We're going to adjust the start times, the start time and end time of our primary school. We're going to move it back from 8 o'clock to 3:40. It's now going to be starting at 8:20, ending at 4 o'clock. And what that's going to do, Adam, is that's going to put more lag time in between the intermediate school and the primary school start and end time. And that will alleviate a ton of traffic that's on Candlestick and on Raider Lane, and then also on Old Silsby and on Main Street. So that's a huge decision that we made. We didn't make it lightly, but like I say, we made it in consultation with LPD and TxDOT.
Well, that is a huge change to implement something like that, but at least you're doing it early enough to where people can adjust and they're not setting their ways just yet. So when are you looking for this change to take place? Will that start immediately?
No. So what we're going to do is that we have to make some adjustments. So we're going to have to adjust the bus routes. We're going to have to adjust the bell times. We're going to have to make some adjustments on the backside in our student information system with the way the schedules are. So we're going to start that this coming Monday. And we're going to put out tons more information, Adam. We'll do a communication blitz. We've already sent an email out to on School Messenger to our staff members. We'll communicate with the parents tomorrow by School Messenger, and the primary school will also send information. But what this is going to do is it's going to allow the intermediate school traffic to clear out. And it will ease up all the traffic on the cross streets and at the red lights at Raider and at Candlestick, and then also the traffic that backs up on Old Silsby.
Well, you know what? At least there's a plan in place there to help with that. And like you said, you mentioned like the PD and emergency vehicles and that sort of thing. That's going to help all the way around. So I'm sure people will appreciate that. Now, is there anything else why I've got you here that you would like to address? Because, I, look, unless you've been living under a rock, Facebook has been blowing up more than usual, I guess you'd say. Like, I don't know if it's just me, but I feel it more than usual. Like, I feel like I'm getting tagged more. I'm getting more messages sent to me this year than over any other year. But is there anything else you'd like to address while I've got you here?
Well, I would just like to say that, if anything about me over the last 3 years, people should understand that I'm extremely transparent. I'm extremely honest. The answers that I give may not always be the ones that everybody wants to hear or likes to hear, but I'm always going to shoot straight with people. I will tell you that that us not knowing that those names had been, or those phone numbers had been purged out of the Remind system, that we all actually discovered it this afternoon at the same time as we're having a three-way phone call. And we knew right away that that was a huge problem, because I look back at the messages and I can see all the messages that were sent, telling folks about the afternoon bus stops, telling folks about the being short of drivers and that the route times are going to be longer. But the problem was we were sending it into cyberspace and nobody was getting it. So,
Right.
it's a huge problem. It's something that we should have caught. It's something that we should have thought about, after the end of the cyber attack. But it just, in amongst all the things, it just didn't translate. And I know that it caused some issues, and it caused some parents to worry about their kids. I'm definitely sorry about that. I never want that to happen. I have a student in the district as well, and so we never want that to happen. But I'm just shooting you straight about what happened, how it happened, and I do want to encourage all of the bus rider parents to please go. They got the message tonight. It's out on our Facebook page. Go on there, sign up for the Remind, and we will communicate with you primarily through that Remind. So just be patient with that, and we are going to get that problem corrected.
And another avenue there is I've noticed almost each campus has their own like Facebook page, and they do updates. I've seen the principals like Jason Morgan
Yes.
and a couple of the other ones up there doing updates and trying to help the guardians, parents out when they're picking up their children or dropping them off, or just information in general. So that's a really good way to stay informed as well. Well, Dr. Tipton, I'm not going to keep you any longer. I know you've had a long day. I know you've had a long week, and you still got some time to go. So thank you for joining me here. I really appreciate it.
You bet. And just the message is that our transportation folks, they do care about your kids. It's a rough game to be in right now. And I would also throw out there that if there's anybody out there with a CDL or that's interested in getting a CDL and you'd like a part-time gig, we train in-house. We pay to start the training for you. As soon as you get to a certain point, you start getting paid. And it's flexible hours. We need bus drivers. So if anybody's interested, please call our transportation department. We would love to get some more drivers on board.
All right. Well, I certainly appreciate it, Dr. Tony Tipton. Have a good evening. And,
All right.
and I'm sure we'll talk to you again in the near, not so distant future. So,
okay. Thank you, Adam.
No problem. Well, there you have it, guys. Dr. Tony Tipton with Lumberton ISD, always joining us here. Very transparent. He'll give you the answers as he knows them. So that's why I always like to have him come on up here. It's been a crazy week here in Southeast Texas, just the news stories in general. I'm not just talking about the buses or the traffic in Lumberton. I'm talking about there's been snakes falling out of the sky. There's been donkeys hit on the road. All kinds of things have been happening. So stay tuned right here to the Brooks Report Live. Don't forget to hit that follow button. There's a little bell you can click on your screen there. And that way you never miss a live broadcast or any of our other reports. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your evening and have a good night. Thank you for joining us.